Welcome to the Rock Interview Series with host Thomas S. ORWAT Jr.
Welcome to episode 127 of the Rock Interview Series. I'm Thomas ORWAT Jr. Today is July 10th, 2025. In this episode, I'm joined by Chip Z'NUFF, vocalist, bass player, songwriter of the hard rock band ENUFF Z'NUFF. During this interview, Chip talks about the new ENUFF Z'NUFF record entitled Xtra-Cherries, scheduled to be released on July 25th on Cleopatra Records. This is the band's 21st studio record since their formation in 1984. In addition, we talk about Chip's thoughts on releasing a third solo record and also his current working relationship with ex-ENUFF Z'NUFF member and band co-founder Donnie Vie. So let's get started. Here's Chip Z'NUFF. Chip, I recently saw you on tour in Buffalo just a couple weeks ago at the Cas, and I'll tell you, man, what a great show. The band's on fire, awesome set list. You guys were really kicking ass. What do you remember about that show in particular?
Well, it brought back memories from the very first time I went out there and did an arena tour with ENUFF Z'NUFF. I went to a club in the middle of the night. A couple of guys attacked my road crew and started fighting in this real dark bar, and nobody wanted to help us. I looked over by the corner of the bar, and there was Robbie from Goo Goo Dolls standing there watching the fight. I'll never forget that, okay? And then they carried the security guard, because I picked up a table and threw it at these guys, and that's not my style. I'm a loving guy. I'm a peace guy. I'm not a fighter. Although I can't chop, I have to. Anyway, the guy threw me over his shoulder, big, huge black guy, 6'4", built like he was an MMA wrestler, and carried me gently like a newborn baby outside, set me down. I thought, this is Buffalo, tough town. These guys don't play games here. So then I go back there and play just as a couple weeks ago at the Cas, and there's not a lot of people there. It's real quiet. The promoter says he's going to record the whole show. It's going to go out on a live stream. And I thought, boy, times have certainly changed now from playing packed, sold-out clubs and arenas to now being in a small little bar with 30 people. And I I gave everything I got on that show. I wanted to let people know that we're not here to mail it in. It's a real rock band. And lo and behold, that promoter called me back and said, you guys did a great job. I'm real proud of you. I want to have you back again if you get a chance. So I thought that was nice, Thomas. And I leave it a good mark right there. And that show, it was a real potpourri of songs that night, because I wanted to mix it up with not only the ENUFF Z'NUFF early material that people know, but I threw in some stuff from the Beatle Hard Rock Night record, some of those old songs of Live and Let Die and Magical Mystery Tour, and Jet off the Paul McCartney record that's on our record as well, Paul McCartney and the Wings. And people at the end of the night, everybody came up to me and said, man, what a great show. You guys were terrific. Wherever you're playing, we'll come see you again. So I'm back in the good grace of Buffalo. Maybe next time we'll bring some more people with us.
Well, it was a tough gig because it was on a Wednesday night in the middle of summer. Well, summer just started. I mean, there was so much going on. Like I say, you guys performed great. And that show you were mentioning earlier, or that situation, that tale is legendary. People talk about it. It was at the Continental, was the name of the bar, in which that fight took place, and people still talk about it. So, that's like a legendary moment in like Buffalo rock history, was the ENUFF Z'NUFF like Continental fight. Yes. So yeah, I wish I would have been there for that. That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, you could have helped me. I didn't get beat up, by the way. I did not lose the fight. I did not get beat up, okay? I think that what happened was, I remember picking up a table and running into the guys to break up the fight. That's all I wanted to do, was break it up, because they were working over my guitar tech, Billy Fawcett, who used to work with Cheap Trick. And I was able to save him from getting his ass whipped. But listen, Buffalo's always been one of those kind of towns where they're starving for rock and roll. A lot of bands don't want to go through there, because usually when you're going in that area, you're going toward Canada and you don't have time to stop in. But there's great people out there, hardworking blue-collar people that are just jonesing to see a good rock and roll band. So I'm glad I was able to go through there again.
Yeah, yeah. Well, one of the reasons I'm talking to you is you have a brand new record coming out on July 25th called Xtra-Cherries. The It's considered the 21st studio record of Enuff Z'NUFF. And I've listened to it. I got a link to listen to, and I'll tell you, it is great. It is diverse. It has that great like Enuff Z'NUFF signature sound to it, but it's a little bit different from other releases. And you have some great special guests on it. So tell me a little bit about this record. When did you start recording it, and how difficult was it to get all these different guest artists to appear on it?
Well, the new ENUFF Z'NUFF Extra Cherries record is me looking at the world through my kaleidoscope. It's hard rock, it's pop, it's got a little bit of alternative to it, maybe a tinge, a little sprinkle of metal in it. It's a real potpourri of what we do for a living, bro. And I'm glad that you said it sounds different than other records, because I'm not interested in making the same record again, okay? All my favorite bands, it's always been a little bit different, change in the guard in every single album with songs. Obviously, we have our own timbre and our own sound. I think it's a rock solid record. And the great thing about the album is not only there are some brand new songs there, but there's some old stuff that sounds new once again. To quote one of my favorite rock stars, if it's 20 years old, it's new again. That's exactly what it is. I went and took these songs that I had in my library and in my head and put pen to paper. And the last thing I did was to try to get some cats on there that would help elevate our perception. That's when I went out and got Adler from Guns N' Roses and Dax Nielsen and Robin to get on the record. Robin didn't even know he's on there. I just took him off on another track he did with me years ago and popped his part on there because he's such a wonderful singer and I wanted to share it. The stuff with Nelson I did, Star from the Rolling Stones, that's probably one of the most promiscuous rock songs ever written. I had no choice but to try something new there. I had a great vocal arrangement, killer lyrics there by Mick Jagger. And I was able to get one of the Nelson boys, which was Gunner, to come on down and play slide guitar. I had no idea he even played slide guitar. The guy's a six-string pony. And then the other material that you hear on the record with where guest musicians are on there, the Journey stuff was from 35, 40 years ago. I had those tapes just sitting, not doing anything. And a light went off in my head when I found the masters with Neil Sean on them and Donnie. I said, you know what? Maybe Robert Fleischman would want to sing on this. And I just coincidentally just finished playing bass on Robert Fleischman's solo record, Emotional Atlas, that's out right now. And so I was in good graces with him, and I was able to come on down there and sing a beautiful vocal to that song, Shine.
Yeah. So
if you listen to the whole record, it's peaks and valleys. I'm not writing for radio like in the old days. A lot of bands would go out and go, "We got to write our hit single. We got to have something for radio." That's it. Those days are done. Put a fork in it. I'm not confusing motion with progress. It's a rock and roll record. Some people are going to dig it. Rock and roll's still dangerous as far as I'm concerned. And those handcuffs that were previously put on us by record companies are no longer there. We're just writing songs and looking to see what we can do that's going to trip our trigger at the end of the day. And I think we got something real nice here with this Cherries record. And we're going to go out and tour on it, so that's going to be a nice thing too. And you'll see some videos coming up real soon as well on a lot of the songs. So it won't be like one video and that's it. We're gonna go deep into the record and do 4 or 5 videos, and we'll put them on YouTube, and we'll try to find some touring in the country where we can go out and we can take it to the streets.
Yes. So far, you've released officially 2 singles from it, Heavy Metal and Magnificent. Great songs. What will be the third song that you release from this? Have you decided yet?
The record company, they changed their name. I know we have Magnificent was one that we talked about, which is featuring Steve Stevens.
Yeah, that one was just released, I think, last Friday.
The next one will be No Cold Feeling.
Oh, featuring Steve Brown from Trickster.
And that's Steve Brown from Trickster and Def Leppard. Yeah, he's wonderful. Came down with a great song. I did my thing to it, and we bashed it out. I actually I'm playing lead guitar on that song as well. I play a lot of guitar in songs, but that one was I had a chance to really spread my wings. Another great rock track, though. I think if there was ever a single on the record, they had to go to radio. That's the one right there. It's got the chorus in there, that the repeating hook that you can't deny it. Steve Brown did a wonderful job when he was producing that Ace Frehley record, 10,000 volts.
Yeah.
And for years and years, we wanted to do something together. He's an old friend of mine, him and PJ from the old Trickster days. We always used to hang out together. So it's nice that we get the chance to share a spotlight and do a little collaboration.
Yeah, I want to go back to the song "Star Star," the Stones cover. I love the piano the rockabilly piano that was added into that. Who played
Yeah,
piano
that's
on
my
that
buddy
song?
Joel Norman from Indianapolis. Unheard of cat who just sings and plays like you will not believe. Great guitar player too as well. Well, on a lot of these ENUFF Z'NUFF records, when I get guest musicians, I always want to grab somebody that I have a good relationship with and I can trust, and I have to tell them what to play, because that's a anomaly when you get somebody to play in your record. You go, hey, why don't you play this, bro? No, let them play what you want, because you might get something special that you never would imagine it would come into fruition. And he's a great musician that came down there. But one take, by the way, on that piano part right there. And I think that set the tone for the rest of the record. When we laid down that song, that basic track, and Dax playing great drums on that, boy, he's so good. And he had that Cheap Trick signature there. And my job was simple, just pump the bass and sing a good melody line, which was provided by the great Mick Jagger, probably one of the greatest lyrics ever. That song would not fit in today's day and age lyrically. It's politically incorrect, and that puts a smile on this knitted brow. That makes me happy.
Yeah. So did Dax play drums on all the tracks except I'm assuming the one that Steven Adler plays on, Zillion Miles Away? So was Dax the drummer for the other 10 tracks?
Well, yeah, he did. He didn't play on heavy metal. Heavy metal was played by my old drummer Dan Benjamin Hill. He just didn't get the credit on there, but fabulous drumming on there. And I think Dax did play drums on it, but we ended up using the track that we had, that when it was originally written back in 2017. That song was going to be on my album Diamond Boy. And for some reason or another, we just, my old guitar player, Tony Fennell, said, hey, mate, we got to push this one back. We got enough good songs. You have done very well. And I go, no problem. We'll just leave it off the record. And then after that we did Brainwash Generation, and it didn't make Brainwash Generation as well. I was writing like a madman, and then we put out after that Perfectly Imperfect, and I had Joe Holkstra and a bunch of guys on that record. I said maybe I'll just hold off with the heavy metal until the next record. And then the next record, of course, was Fire and Sin, and it didn't make that as well. And I was like, I got to get this song out there. And then one of my buddies out in Long Grove, Illinois, a good buddy of mine, my accountant actually, Ben Selinger, came to me and he says, what's going on with that song, Heavy Metal? Why won't you put that out? That's the hit song on the record. And I go, you might be right there. And we ended up going back, and we didn't touch the track. We left it the way it was recorded back in those days. After Dax played on it, we listened to both versions, and we decided to go with the early version with Dan Benjamin Hill. So good track, though. I'm really happy with it. It's got a lot of piss and vinegar, one ton of personality on that song. It's not a heavy metal song, but it's got shades of metal.
Yeah, that was one of the songs that you played live when I saw you a couple weeks ago, and I thought live it sounded even better. I mean, it's a great song, and I think it was a good choice for the first single.
Thanks, Thomas. You don't know what you're gonna do. All us musicians, it's a stab in the dark. You just don't know what the song is going to be. It's going to catch anybody's attention. And at the end of the day, as a grown man, I'm just making records to have a good time and share my music with people. I'm not looking for the big score and the big payday like it used to be. We're in a time and day and age where there's too much product, not enough demand. What soothes my soul is to be able to make great music, at least in my mind, without sounding unmodest, and share it with the people that are out in the world that love rock and roll and heavy metal. And perhaps maybe a movie or a soundtrack, something, a TV show, somebody will grab onto it and help us out, and we'll be able to pay for the record.
Now, one of the other impressive things about the show, and you mentioned this earlier, was your guitar playing. There was one moment at the show where you went over to your guitarist, Lewis, and you started playing his guitar and did this insane guitar riff and solo. And I had no idea that you were that proficient on guitar.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. It's always nice to get recognized for my guitar playing. By the way, coincidentally, on every single ENUFF Z'NUFF album, I'm playing guitar on them. Every single one, whether a little color part, a little Chet Atkins part, something that's colorful, some octaves, any kind of, not a lot of leads because I always play with great lead guitar players. But on the early ENUFF Z'NUFF albums, I play on all that stuff. And coincidentally, on that little thing, I've been doing that when in the early ENUFF Z'NUFF days, when Alex Kane from Life, Sex, and Death was in the band, we did that together all the time. He encouraged it. And now here I am 40 years later, still reaching over whoever's ever playing guitar and trying to steal the spotlight. I'm glad that you recognized it, though, bro.
I think a lot of people, it was eye-opening for a lot of people because I know the person I was with said, "Oh my God, I can't believe he can play guitar that well." And it was very impressive. Yeah.
Thanks, Thomas. I seen that. Who was it? The cat from Steve Vai and Nuno Betancourt were doing that at one of the shows. I go, it's funny how people just grab on to stuff, and I was very impressed that they were inspired by something that we've been doing for the last 40 years. So it's nice to share the spotlight in any way you can. And like I've always said, who cares who drives the bus? Let's get to the picnic.
Right. Exactly. Right. One of the things that you also have done over the last like decade or so is you've released 2 solo records, which I think are really, really good records. Do you have any ambition to do another solo record in the near future?
But anything's possible. To be honest with you, it's always challenging. My last record deal that I had with our old label, they make me put 3 records out in a year or so. That's to me, it's a little. That's really difficult for any artist to go out there and put your best songs out there. And I did that. I was able to provide what I promised, which was 3 albums in 1 year. But I'd prefer not to have to do that. I'd rather just take it a little bit easier on me. It's just it's too hard on my body. It's too hard on my mind to come up with 3 full-length records of solid material. I don't want to put anything out there that's not, in my opinion, not up to par. And those records I thought were really good records. I was able to get some wonderful musicians on those solo records as well. Robin Zander and Steven Adler are my old buddies. And the 2015 album, which is called Strange Time. It's on Cleopatra Records. And then, of course, Perfectly Imperfect, that record as well, where I was able to get Dax Nielsen and Joe Hoekstra. I always want to have good guys around me and put the fake band together when I make those records, because it to me, it's charming. It makes me feel good. It's a great accomplishment if I come up with these good songs and get some guys out there to play and share with me and collaborate. That's always exciting for me. But will I do another solo record? Only time will tell, because like I said, it's something that's not easy to do. But I never say no.
Yeah. With such a large catalog behind you, how difficult is it for you to pick a set list? And have you ever thought of maybe slowing down? Because like I said, 21 studio records, that's pretty incredible. I mean, you have such a vast catalog. You really don't need to release anything. How important is it to you to be creative and release new material?
That's everything for me. While I'm in this business and on this world, I want to play music. I want to be creative. I want to put stuff out there. I'm really proud of the accomplishments that ENUFF Z'NUFF has come up with throughout our career. Donnie and I released, I think it was 14 or 15 studio records. That's a lot. And now put out another 6 or 7 as fronting the band. I never envisioned an ending. Luck is the resident of design. Just wanted to make music. That's it. And at the end of the day, people can enjoy it. And for me to stop would be a shortcut to thinking. I still got songs in the gas tank, and I want to move forward. And as far as picking a set list out, it's not hard to do, because I look at the set list of all my favorite artists that are out there, and it's a potpourri. It's a mixture of old stuff and new stuff. And you want to play the songs in the set that people are going to know. Go see the Cheap Trick, go see the Rolling Stone, go see Aerosmith, go see the Lemon Twigs, the new band, which is, I hail those guys. I always talk about them. Their set list is a mixture of all kinds of different songs throughout their career. And I'm following suit. People want to hear "Baby Loves You" and "New Thing" and "Fly Michelle" and "Love Train" and "Indian Angel," but they also want to hear some of the deeper cuts too. And I think it's important to mix those songs up along with the Beatles stuff that we do as well off the Hard Rock Night record. When you come see ENUFF Z'NUFF show, you're going to get 6 or 7 very well recognized songs that are played well. And then you get some B-sides and C-side stuff along the ways. And I think that's important to have that as well. The fans, the audience wants that. And I've never heard anybody complain at our shows about, hey, man, you didn't, if anything, they go, hey, can you play this off of Brainwashed Generation or Finer to Sin? And, you wish you can get to all those songs, but a lot of people don't know them. And so I think now that we move further into our career, you're going to start seeing me mixing stuff up from the Brainwashed Generation. And, of course, the Xtra-Cherries record, we do songs off that already. As you said, you've seen us do heavy metal. I think there'll be more surprises down the pipeline. It depends what kind of tour we're on as well. So if we're doing shows and it's a festival and we're playing with Stone Temple Pilots or Cheap Trick or, a big band that we fit along, Sebastian Bach we just played with recently, or we just did stuff with Ricky Rocket from Rockets Mafia or Vixen. We mix the setup then and you try to play stuff that's a little more hard edge maybe. But we're playing on a stage and it's with bands that are more pop. We'll go the pop way. We'll mix it up and it'll be a potpourri every single show. You don't know what to expect. I think that's more appropriate for what we're doing right now.
Yeah, it definitely works. One of the last questions I have for you, Chip, is have you spoke with Donnie Vie recently? Do you guys have a good relationship still, or where does that stand right
Thomas, I just talked to Donnie 2 weeks ago. We're being inducted into the Illinois Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's in September at the Rialto Theater, along with The Great Disturbed, Smashing Pumpkins, Head East, Richard Marx, and other artists as well.
now?
And I asked them, I said, you're a part of the history of ENUFF Z'NUFF. I really believe that it'd be nice, fans would like it if we got together and you sing a couple of songs that night. Every band's going to do a few songs, just like they do the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame over in Cleveland. Same approach. And when I look at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, I seen, Lou Gramm coming back. And he hasn't been in 415 years. He comes in there and he sings a couple of songs, and he should. It's his beautiful pipes on those songs. He helped write them as well. Or Adler from Guns N' Roses and Izzy coming back to play with Guns N' Roses. I think it's only fitting to the fans and to the band that everybody goes in there and we collect our medals together. And I thought it was nice, and Donnie accepted the invitation. So I think we're okay right now. Obviously, if we weren't in the same room together and he was talking about me, it might not be as kind because I'm a different kind of, I'm cut from a different cloth. I'm not going to sling mud when I live in a glass house. But you can't disrupt or dispute what we've accomplished throughout our careers. And it's been an illustrious career, and it's been tough. It's been a lot of peaks and valleys, ups and downs. But at the end of the day, we've created some great songs. We made some cool records. We've got some recognition around the country. We've made some people real happy. And if you look at the glass half full, I think you'll be okay in life.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Chip. Well, I really appreciate your time. I'm hoping that you get to Buffalo's again soon.
Thomas, thank you. I'm holding an ace. I'm living in cyberspace on my microphone mobile and my English reel-to-reel. Shout out to Amanda over at ABC and all my constituents over at Cleopatra Records for putting out this Xtra-Cherries record. And most importantly, the people who have been listening to hard rock and heavy metal throughout the years. God bless you all. I hope you live to be 100 years old.